Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show. We are keeping it PC, and well, we're doing that with Stephen Bauer, CPA. And welcome to the show, Stephen.
Good morning. Thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here. And your company is SG Bowers and Company.
Correct.
And thrilled to have you here. And we brought you from quite a distance to Park City, didn't we?
We did. I just relocated from South Florida about 3 months ago with my family, and we're excited to be here.
Well, tell us a little about your family, first of all.
My family, yes. Well, that's what inspired us to move out here. My wife's been coming out here for roughly her whole life, and I tagged along about 13 years ago, and I fell in love, not just with the winters, the summers, the activities. Yeah. But originally, Joe, I'm a North Carolina boy, born and raised. And
yeah, you get just a touch of that accent.
A little twang.
Here, yeah.
But when we came out to Park City, the people's what really grabbed us. You know, look you in the eye, genuinely care about you, and I knew that that's where I wanted to raise my family. So we took the leap of faith. The day after Christmas, got a one-way ticket, and here we are. Yep.
That's great. Yeah, at least you didn't get the round trip. Now we know you're for real.
We're here.
Okay. You're not a poser.
No,
you're staying.
No, this is home.
That's excellent. Well, welcome to Park City.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're happy to have you here because the thing that I mentioned earlier with Chelsea that is a kind of a hallmark of this town and Utah as a whole is we do bring a lot of great expertise from all over the country, even all over around the world to Utah because it is such a great place to live. And Park City certainly I think one of the finest places you could choose. So you made a wise choice there. But let's talk about the skills you bring with you.
Okay, great. My past is basically I graduated from Florida State University, became a partner at a large healthcare consulting firm in charge of firm operations. So we've helped everyone from healthcare professionals, real estate professionals, developers, attorneys, basically anyone that has a small business, we can help them through those day-to-day operations.
All right, so that's and the other part of this too is that you know your focus is obviously on the tax side of things, and we're at that time of year.
Yep.
I think it's kind of probably a good part to talk about that a little bit and what people can do right now if they're kind of a little late getting to it, because we are a little late getting to it.
Here we are, exactly. Monday's the day. So if you haven't filed your taxes, it's very important to go ahead and get that extension. Seek a tax professional to file.
We're at that time, aren't we?
We're at that time.
Yeah,
it's time to do it.
It's really not time to go and try to find somebody to do it now. It's time to file an extension.
A little too late. And you know, as we know, we got to make our payments. So make sure you make as much as you possibly can, and then that way it gives you time to get your records in order to file the extended return.
Well, you know, my tax guy's always thrilled when I show up on his door, and it's always a little close to being late too. But I've got, you know, 25 employers. Yep. Here you go. Mm-hmm. And that's why I bring in a tax guy is because that is too overwhelming for me. Yep. And many people are in that situation. You don't have to have 25. You know, if you have 5, it can get pretty complex.
The most important thing for small business owners is to utilize their resources, outside accountants, financial consultants, because that'll allow them to focus on their business. They need to grow their business. They need to perfect their goods, whatever it is. By using that outside consultant, it allows them to maximize their dollars by getting all the tax deductions and staying organized. That's the key.
Well, truly, the question becomes, how much time are you willing to invest in doing your taxes if you were to try to do it? And it's never going to be a winner for you from a financial aspect when you have not trained. It's not your forte. It's not the thing you studied. Yep. It's never gonna be a financial winner.
You always miss something, and that's the bottom line. So the minimum fee it takes to consult with someone, it really makes a big difference.
Absolutely. Well, you know, I'm always intrigued, and we'll talk about this in a minute about some of the things that you can and can't write off, and some of that. We'll talk about a couple of those because they're always fun. But talk about when we talk about small business, as you mentioned, and the way in which they're involved in, you know, where you need to be involved. It's not a one-time-a-year thing. No. It really should be more of a partnership throughout the year.
Exactly, and it's the life of the business. You need to get a consultant from day one. So many small business owners, they're do-it-themselfers. They want to do everything themselves. So what happens is there's a lot of things missed when we're setting up our entities or moving through. So it's very important to get help from the get-go, as well as throughout the year, because throughout the year, that's when it's fresh on your mind. You can make good decisions, and you can strategize for that tax day.
Right. So it's kind of interesting that we every year get further and further into the year before we pay, you know, before what we are making is now ours and
Yep.
not going to the government. And it's kind of funny that, you know, next week is when we have to have our taxes turned in. It's actually almost 2 weeks after that now before we've paid for taxes for next year. Kind of interesting to look at it that way.
Tax season's all year. It
Yeah,
never ends.
it really is.
It never ends.
And I guess, you know, as you mentioned, and this is kind of, you know, sort of adding on to that a little bit, the idea of figuring out what some of your shelters might be, and as you mentioned, certainly setting up a business. If you're brand new to a business, boy, it's really important to get some help
Absolutely.
then, because that, as you said, strategy
Yep.
is really the key to winning the game.
Absolutely. Strategy and being organized.
Yeah, and that's something that if you're trying to run a business, that's not something you want to add to
No.
your plate. Put it in somebody else's where it's their bailiwick.
Yeah,
Let them deal with
it takes the focus off the owner's passion, their love for their business. You know, so it's very important to seek that help.
That's excellent. Well, let's talk quickly about a couple of kind of fun ones. I noticed it used to be I could write off a haircut because
Yes.
I was on television, so I can write off the haircut. I can't do that anymore. Did you know that one?
Absolutely, and every year it changes. Probably one of the most aggressive clients I had, it was interesting. They felt like writing off toilet paper was a medical necessity.
Is that right?
So you know, we go for it.
It seems
Hey,
like it probably is. You
have
put it
to
in
have
that
it.
column, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting how people choose how aggressive they would like to be on their returns.
Can they literally bring to you the box of receipts? Or should they,
they
is there a
wanna pay
level of
for it, sure.
organization? Yeah. Is there a level of organization that we should be doing on our own?
Oh, that's the key. And I keep saying organization, being organized and not procrastinating. By doing that, it lets us focus on the actual, your return rather than going through the paper receipts, tallying them up. By doing it every month, every week, it saves you fees as well. By the end of the year, when you're coming to your tax preparer with an organized spreadsheet or discussing it with them throughout the year, it makes a big difference when it comes tax time. It's not just in your fees, but the end result of your refund.
And it's going to help you figure out the best way to help them make sure they can maximize that return.
Correct.
Well, excellent. If someone wants to get in touch with you, which, as we said, the timing is ideal.
Yes.
We're you know, yes, this tax season is past. We're at the end of that, but we also got to talk about next year. This is the ideal time to start talking about that. How do they get in touch with you?
Well, they can reach me on my website at www.sgbowerscpas.com. My local number is 435-214-7989. 435-214-7989.
Terrific. Well, keep it PC with Stephen
Excellent.
Bowers. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you
Thanks
very
so
much.
for sharing. We're happy to have you here from Florida. Hope the family enjoys all there is to offer here in Park City. There's lots to do.
And we're excited. We'd love to be
right.
here. Thank you so much.
We'll be back with more on the Mountain Morning Show. We're going to be giving away some ski tickets. You do not want to miss out on that. Speaking of things that we offer here in Park City, right after this.
Excellent.